Probably the biggest thing is just helping the Angelbeat attendees, the Angelbeat community, get a handle on an increasingly complex technology ecosystem that is increasingly important in their role. They look to Angelbeat to say, okay, I need to know what the big three are doing, and we need your expertise, not so much in doing the coding, but in helping end users understand what are the big issues, what are the gotchas out there.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Ron Gerber, founder and CEO at Angelbeat. Ron, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for your time, Andrew.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for spending some time with us on Business Ninjas. Please tell us a bit about yourself and about Angelbeat.
Great. Well, I founded Angelbeat, it must be about 20 years ago. We've always specialized in running tech events, not bleeding edge, but leading edge. What distinguishes our programs is our strong relationships with Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, and we've worked with them throughout the years. The involvement of the three hyperscalers provides some competitive advantages in a crowded IT event landscape, why senior IT executives like coming back to our programs. Pre-COVID, we did these in 50 cities. After COVID started, obviously shifted to a virtual platform, Zoom. Now we're looking at embracing hybrid events. We're continuing doing virtual programs and trying to get back on the road.
Gotcha. And what verticals do you service with this platform?
Really all verticals, like our programs fall into a couple of different buckets. Some are focused around a specific technology area in depth, like Gen AI, cybersecurity, DevOps. Some are focused just on one of the hyperscaler platforms themselves, and some are focused on specific vertical markets, financial services, healthcare, public sector, etc. For those vertical market programs, you're going to get an audience that's obviously works in that sector. For all the other programs, our activities appeal across all different market segments.
Gotcha. And what are the most common problems you're solving for your clients?
Probably the biggest thing is just helping the Angelbeat attendees, the Angelbeat community, get a handle on an increasingly complex technology ecosystem that is increasingly important in their role. They look to Angelbeat to say, okay, I need to know what the big three are doing. They obviously are even more important in a Gen AI world, and we need your expertise, not so much in doing the coding, but in helping end users understand what are the big issues, what are the gotchas out there, how can they be successful in both their personal career and getting the skills and context they need, as well as setting up their employers to be more successful in terms of embracing Gen AI and all this rapidly changing world.
Well, hey, digital transformation is the word of the day. And, as companies...
Honestly, that was the word of the day about 6 months ago. Now it's all about Gen AI. Now the words of the day are RAG, LLM. And quite honestly, now it's not just LLM, which is a large language model. Now there are SLMs and small language models. So the acronyms, the buzzwords are happening and changing really fast.
Yep, gotcha. What differentiates Angelbeat from your competition? What makes you stand out?
I would say it's our relationships with the big three and being able to bring them together. If you look at our customers, vendors, systems integrators, software developers who complement the big three, they like being part of our programs because they are featured alongside them without a lot of distortion, confusion. When you're at other programs, you might have 20 different companies all doing similar things. So the companies who participate, sponsor events, get lots of benefits in terms of not only strategic branding, but very tactical lead generation. The advantage to attendees is they can come to Angelbeat knowing that there's not a lot of hype, it's technical content. They all know that whatever they're doing on either Google, Microsoft, Amazon, They need to get keen insights. A lot of times they may not know their account reps, and if they do, it's awfully confusing. They don't want to just read blogs. They like to ask questions and benefit from my ability to facilitate the discussions. So from a customer standpoint, our vendor sponsors, they like it because limited number of participants, strategic as well as tactical benefits. From an attendee who comes to our programs, they know it's time well spent because they get the information, the insights they need on top issues, and it can help them in their career and also help their employer as well.
All right. It sounds like you have a fairly agnostic approach to what you do. Is there a particular size or type of company that you work best with?
I mean, realistically, we don't do much with small companies, 10, 20, 30 people. We're not a good fit with them from an attendee standpoint. They're just not ready to embrace a lot of technology. But anything of comparable size all the way to the Fortune 500 are good fits. From a speaker standpoint, we struggle to add value to the Dells, the Ciscos of the world. I mean, they're so big, they deal with everyone. But any other company who's a little bit smaller than them, from a vendor standpoint, benefits from Angelbeat. Any organization who's got some critical mass in size where technology is important, they benefit from attending.
You broached the subject of COVID. I imagine that was quite an eyebrow raiser for your space in terms of, facilitating in-person events and having to pivot quickly. Tell me about the challenges and opportunities that COVID provided for growing Angelbeat.
I would say there are much more challenges than opportunities, quite honestly. I mean, the biggest thing was, when I remember I was fighting with a friend of mine, and when I can remember the date, March 5th, 2020, I thought, COVID's going to be great for me because it'll be like SARS. It might make it more difficult for big international programs, which will benefit regional mid-sized programs like Innovate. And then on March 7th, spend 2 months trying to retrieve security deposits back from hotels because, I said, this is force majeure, you have to refund this. And they said, well, COVID's just a little illness. You should be able to run live events. So, I guess long-term, we now have the ability to run hybrid events. Overall, it's been tricky and it's forced us to be much more focused and deliver even better content because there's so much information available. The IT world didn't really miss a beat for very long once COVID hit. I mean, Amazon sales boom, Microsoft, Google, they all found a way to make it work. So it made it challenging, and it still is challenging for IT events that are really good, but quite honestly, optional. Someone who's a Oracle DBA, they pretty much want to make sure they go to Oracle World every year. It's a little stickier. For events like Angelbeat produces, they're really good. People want to attend, but admittedly, they don't have to. And so in this COVID world, there's a lot of on-demand content readily available. So it just made it trickier for us to ensure that our messaging is precise, effective, and adds value to all participants.
Well, hey, that's a perfect segue as far as messaging is concerned. What role has content played in the growth of Angelbeat?
Content is obviously critically important when you're running events. I mean, that is the product we sell. So the good thing that we've been able to do is keep our content updated and new, leading edge, not bleeding edge. And so we've always been a step ahead of the curve, and our Angelbeat community values our ability to structure programs because it keeps them ahead of the curve as far as their career development, professional skills. And so 15 years ago, we're talking about Windows Vista and why do you upgrade your desktop PCs? Then 10 years ago, it's all about cloud. And then you get a little bit involved in Kubernetes and DevOps. And now it's all about Gen AI. Now, there are certain commonalities like cybersecurity is prevalent in everything we do. So the content evolves, and it just requires people like me to make sure we're always delivering meaningful information.
Gotcha. Right. We preach intentionality in content here at WriteForMe. It's an era of noise. Everybody's got content. You have to cut through and reach your audience where they are and answer their important questions in a timely manner. That's an agnostic approach.
That's right.
Look down the road a year. What are some things you'd like to be celebrating personally and professionally?
We're looking forward to getting back on the road and trying to make sure that our hybrid model of running live events that are simultaneously live streamed is well received in the marketplace. There's always uncertainty. I mean, it's hard enough to get IT folks to go to the office 3 days a week. And when you require one of those days to attend a very good but still optional meeting, it's challenging. So hopefully we'll be able to thread the needle, demonstrate value for interacting with people firsthand, while still supporting a much larger online community through live stream solutions.
Oh, hey, that makes sense. People have gotten a little better whiff of a work-life balance in the land of remote working, and they're kind of reticent to return to what it used to be.
Absolutely.
I'm one of those people. I work remotely, so it allowed me to relocate so I can have a happier life and still do the job I do.
Yeah. And yet, I mean, it's clear the pendulum is swinging a little bit. Amazon just announced they require employees 5 days a week. And it is very hard to develop an employee culture. It's very hard to have informal interaction. If you're small companies, it's okay. But when you get to some size and scale, there's lots of issues. But at the same time, you see lots of companies embracing technology. I mean, the days of having wired desktop computers and offices are gone. Most offices now have flexible office locations. Everyone just brings a laptop in, they get a Bluetooth earpiece, they get on the secure Wi-Fi network. If they need to, they can borrow a big monitor, and it's more like a hotel type of setup. I mean, and that's what we're seeing as far as the return to office mindset is the demise of fixed office locations and cubicles, which, by the way, some people like too.
Gotcha. Please tell us, what's your URL? Where can people find Angelbeat? And what social media outlets are you using at the moment as well?
Well, make sure you look at angelbeat.com, not Angelbeats. So if you look at Angelbeats with an S, you'll pull up a Japanese cartoon show. I never knew about. But if you go to angelbeat.com, you go to #Angelbeat on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. You can just, LinkedIn doesn't do it where it's linkedin.com/Angelbeat, but that'll bring us up as well. I don't think the Japanese cartoon show Angelbeats with an S has their own LinkedIn page. They have their own Facebook page, their own Twitter page, but that's about it.
Gotcha. Ron Gerber at Angelbeat. Appreciate you spending some time with us on Business Ninjas. All the best to you and yours, and continued success at Angelbeat.
Great. Thank you very much for your time, Andrew. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Be well.